What's up, guys? It's Cody from Helpful Dreams. Thank you so much for coming by the channel today. This is where we gather all the best motivational and inspirational content of all time into one place where we can discuss it, pull out the gold nuggets of wisdom and knowledge in order to apply it in our own lives to better our lives and the lives of those around us. And that is the mission of the channel. Like I said before, if you want to skip the intro and go straight into the lesson, you can click the timestamp in the description. Other than that, I'm really excited to announce that we're going to be doing a cool exercise from Napoleon Hill about establishing your definiteness of purpose and identifying your purpose in life, and also identifying your desires in a specific way so that your desires and your purpose create a direction in your life, like the North Star of your mind, and it'll show you, it'll keep you on the track and the path to your true success by always being able to remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. And the purpose of this channel is obviously to just better people's lives with wisdom, and it keeps me on track. And so I constantly reiterate that to myself on a day-to-day basis, that I'm spreading this knowledge and hopefully impacting anybody who comes across this channel, and it's very fulfilling, and that's just my purpose that I've identified. And so this exercise is going to help us kind of explore what we want out of life and allow us to create direction and create a purpose and an end goal that we can strive to on a daily basis to achieve. And so I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to go ahead and roll it. Thank you.
And now, may I request that you forget all your problems and just relax while I bring you the master key with which you may unlock the door to any opportunity that your mind can conceive. The master key consists of 17 principles, the first of which is definiteness of purpose. Right here at the beginning of our visit, I'm going to make you a promise. If you will decide definitely what you want most during your entire lifetime and write it down on paper so that I can read it, I will give you the master key with which you may open the door to the attainment of your desires, whatever they may be. The exact moment when I will deliver this master key to you will depend entirely upon when you are ready to receive it. This is the first of 13 messages that I will deliver to you. Now, in each message, I will describe the master key in terms that you will understand, if you are ready to understand. And now I shall give you the first cue as to the nature of the great master key which has been responsible for all the great successes in every calling, in every part of the world. Please listen carefully to what I have to say, because you may discover the secret of the master key in this first visit. You may get your first cue as to the nature of the great master key when I tell you that psychologists have discovered a natural law which is the very foundation of all personal successes. And I can describe it to you in one short sentence so you can understand it. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Isn't that a profound statement? You will notice that it says nothing about the need for education, but simply that whatever your mind can conceive and believe, your mind can achieve. Now, if you want evidence that the mind can achieve whatever the mind can conceive without the benefit of formal education, you only have to remember that Thomas A. Edison conceived the idea of becoming an inventor and lived to become the world's greatest scientist in the field of invention, with only 3 months of common school education. When I first heard Andrew Carnegie describe this natural law, which makes it possible for you and I and everyone else to write his own price tag in life and attain it, I became so enthused over it that I began to search for the power back of it, and my curiosity led me finally to the discovery of the master key, which I shall reveal to you if you are ready to receive it. My search led me to the study of the spiritual forces with which all of us are blessed. And it was in this field that I came upon a clue which has enabled me to help millions of people to find their earthly destinies. I want to describe my discovery in the simplest terms possible, because it will reveal to you why it is true that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, regardless of how many times you may have failed in the past or how lofty your aims and hopes may be. I caught my first fleeting glimpse of the profound law which provides the means by which we may choose our own purpose in life and attain it while I was being coached by Andrew Carnegie during the organization of the Science of Success philosophy. I had just finished telling Mr. Carnegie that I feared he had chosen the wrong person to give the world the first practical philosophy of personal success because of my youth, my lack of education, and my lack of finances. Well, at this point, Mr. Carnegie delivered a lecture that I shall never forget because it changed my entire life and paved the way for my helping to change the lives of millions of people, some of them not yet born. Let me call your attention to a great power which is under your control, said Mr. Carnegie, a power which is greater than poverty, greater than the lack of education, greater than all of your fears and superstitions combined. It is the power to take possession of your own mind and direct it to whatever ends you may desire. This profound power, Mr. Carnegie continued, is the gift of the Creator, and it must have been considered the greatest of all of his gifts to man, because it is the only thing over which man has the complete and unchallengeable right of control and direction. When you speak of your poverty and lack of education, Mr. Carnegie explained, you are simply directing your mind power to attract these undesirable circumstances, because it is true that whatever your mind feeds upon, your mind attracts to you. Now you see why it is important that you recognize that all success begins with definiteness of purpose, with a clear picture in your mind of precisely what you want from life. Then Mr. Carnegie continued his speech with a description of a great universal truth which made such an impact upon my mind that I began then and there to give myself a new outlook on life and set up for myself a goal so far above my previous achievements that it shocked my friends and relatives when they heard about it. Everyone, said Mr. Carnegie, comes to the earth plane blessed with the privilege of controlling his mind power and directing it to whatever ends he may choose. But, he continued, everyone brings over with him at birth the equivalent of two sealed envelopes, one of which is clearly labeled, the riches you may enjoy if you take possession of your own mind and direct it to ends of your own choice. And the other is labeled, the penalties you must pay if you neglect to take possession of your mind and direct it. And now let me reveal to you, said Mr. Carnegie, the contents of those two sealed envelopes. In the one labeled riches is this list of blessings. 1, sound health. 2, peace of mind. 3, a labor of love of your own choice. 4, freedom from fear and worry. 5, a positive mental attitude. 6, material riches of your own choice and quantity. In the sealed envelope labeled penalties, Mr. Carnegie continued, is this list of the prices one must pay for neglecting to take possession of his own mind. 1, ill health. 2, fear and worry. 3, indecision and doubt. 4, frustration and discouragement throughout life. 5, poverty and want. 6, and a whole flock of evils consisting of envy, greed, jealousy, anger, hatred, and superstition. Now, my mission in life is to help you and everyone who needs my help to open up and use the contents of the sealed envelope labeled riches. And the starting point from which you must take off if you wish to write your own ticket from here on out for the remainder of your life, I will describe for you in these simple instructions. 1, procure a neat pocket-sized notebook, or something on the order of this one here, loose leaf affair. And on page 1, write down a clear description of your major desire in life, the one circumstance or position or thing which you will be willing to accept as your idea of success. And remember before you begin writing that your only limitations are those which you set up in your own mind or permit others to set up for you. And 2, on page 2 of your notebook, write down a clear statement of precisely what you intend to give in return for that which you desire from life. And then start in right where you stand now to begin giving. And 3, memorize both of your statements, what you desire and what you intend to give in return for it, and repeat them at least a dozen times daily. And always end your statements with this expression of gratitude for the blessings with which you were gifted at birth. I ask not, O divine providence, for more riches, but more wisdom with which to accept and use wisely the riches I received at birth in the form of the power to control and direct my mind to whatever ends I desire. If you are not too successful or self-satisfied to accept and express this profound prayer, if you accept it and express it in the same spirit of humble sincerity in which I pass it on to you, a new and a better world will reveal itself to you. A world in which you will see reflected the circumstances and the things which you yourself have created. And now, before I conclude this first visit, I have a special request to make of you. If you have read one or more of the success books which I have written, especially Think and Grow Rich or How to Raise Your Own Salary, and you have achieved success by following my instructions, I wish you to write and tell me your entire story in detail. Just which of my books you were reading when you discovered the master key formula which led to your success, the nature of your business or work, and a description of your aims and hopes for the future. In practically all parts of the world, my books have brought success to millions of people whose stories would encourage and help others find themselves. It is my aim to discover these people and publish their stories in future books I will write for the benefit of people who are struggling to get ahead in the world. In my next visit, I will give you a description of the second principle of success, through the application of which you may make use of the education and experience of other people and get the necessary help you may need in attaining your definite major purpose in life. And now let me close this, our first visit, with my favorite expression of gratitude. O divine providence, I ask not for more riches, but more wisdom with which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth, consisting in the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I desire.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that lecture from Napoleon Hill on definiteness of purpose. And I also hope you guys are writing down your desires and your hopes and dreams and your purpose in life, and also thinking about what you're willing to trade in return for your desires in life and what you can bring to the table as far as value to the world in return for your desires. And so that's something I've fallen short on a lot, is actually writing down my goals and my desires. But if I look back on it, the times that I have written them down, I've really achieved everything that I've written down when I do those exercises. And so it's really surprising what you can achieve by writing it down, and it solidifies it in your mind. It also charges it with passion, and you're able to remember it better on a daily basis. And so it helps you just stay on track. It's like I said, the North Star of the mind is the purpose, and it creates your direction. And so that's why I feel it's so important. We might do a series on this. Let me know in the comments if you really like this, and we'll keep rolling with the Napoleon Hill series. I would love to go through it with you guys. If you're new here, subscribe. And I'm just going to keep keeping on, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I appreciate the support, and I love you guys. See ya.